too late as David Robinson went to the floor.
Yeah, David's upset because that was an offensive foul. He went right into his chest, knocked David down. That was not a flop.
4 minutes to go in this game. Spurs comfortably in the lead by 16. Avery Johnson lays it into David Robinson, who draws the foul.
It's always great when your big men away from the ball understand creating the passing lane. By that we mean when their man leaves them to double team on the dribble, that they create a passing lane for the dribbler. So that when the pass is made, the catch is there, and without a dribble, the ball is sent home.
That was the 5th assist in limited minutes for Avery Johnson here tonight. Spurs as a team have 26 assists.
Oh, you love it. Unselfish play. Everyone making the extra pass.
Nowitzki driving on Ferry, and he gets the layup. Nowitzki is racking up his career. Of course, any high game he has is be his career playoff high. He has 36 tonight. And 17 rebounds.
Oh, gritty back door.
Antonio Daniels.
Isley turned his head on that dribble. Daniels was gone right to the rim.
And we had Daniels pulling on Nowitzki. Here's that pass.
Yeah, Avery, as he's coming to the middle of the floor, look to the top of your screen. Daniels, beautiful move. He was watching his man. As soon as his man turned his eye to the ball, he went back door.
Dirk Nowitzki tonight, to go with his 36 points, has 18 rebounds, Stevie. While we have a moment, let's take a look at our American Express leaderboard. As you see the single game points, Iverson and Carter, what a battle they've had. Kobe threw a 48 just yesterday. That's the American Express leaderboard, and Michael Finley has now sat down, probably ending his season. As we talk about the long summer he'll probably run into, he sits down with a 1 of 17 field goal mark here tonight. After an all-star season, he finally ran out of gas.
Yeah, and he's the catalyst there. There's no doubt about it. He's the guy that has set a foundation when they brought Finley in, and then they got Nash, and they made some trades. Next thing you know, you had Bradley, and then the big one, what they moved quite a few people in picking up Juwan Howard. Michael Finley is truly a young star in this league.
And he's durable.
Yes, and a young fella with nothing but an upside ahead of him to look forward to. And remember, we keep telling you about Nowitzki. Nowitzki's still only 22 years of age.
And tonight, 36 points, 18 rebounds, 12 of 16 from the line. He's going to have dental work, but that's about the only flaw we can find. Be coming to San Antonio on Saturday, the LA Lakers.
Well, you can see with Bryant and O'Neal, but the guy who has stepped up for them now that he's back after injury is Fisher at the point. It's very quietly, like last night, he came in with another 20-point production. But we have some great matchups. You have Shaq and David Robinson. You have Duncan, Horace Grant. Out on the point, the Fisher-Porter will be key, because they've got to keep Fisher down in that series and hope that the Lakers cannot get that third score on a consistent night in and night out.
And the big question you mentioned earlier is what to do with Kobe Bryant.
Absolutely. Sure, you have Daniels. Now remember, you saw those numbers, 38 points. That was against Derek Anderson and Daniels. Now they only have Daniels, and then which way do you go here? Do you move Porter over and to play the 2 guard when you come with Avery Johnson, or do you move Sean Elliott into the backcourt? It's really a significant question that must be answered for this series.
And Malik Rose and Steve Kerr will come in. Tim Duncan is going to sit down and finish his night with 32 points and 20 rebounds. A 32-20 night for Duncan to go with his 4 block shots. are the numbers.
Quiet man just had a quiet game, and the numbers knock you off your chair.
Steve serves. It's 101-81. And Nowitzki continues to finish up his 2000-2001 series on a high note. And basketball enthusiasm has certainly been renewed in Dallas.
Well, you just love it. You love what's happening here now because all three Texas teams, it's a little bit to crow about because Houston made a major improvement this year, and they have a lot of young fellas there. And if they come up with a major acquisition in the free agent, that could be very interesting.
We'll be back to what they used to call the Texas Triangle.
There you go. And do we remember those days?
Yeah. Teams come into here on a streak, lose 3 in a row, and go home limping.
And by the way, one of the truly fun people in the history of the NBA and a great coach and always was a great player. Doug Moe is in-house tonight. He's living full-time here in San Antonio. Doug had coached the San Antonio Spurs and also Denver, and just did a magnificent job as a coach.
45 seconds left in the Mavs season, and 45 seconds until the Spurs get to rest and start their serious preparation for the Los Angeles Lakers. Following this game, Ernie Johnson, Kenny Smith, Allen Houston, and Jalen Rose break down tonight's game between the Mavericks and Spurs. They'll look ahead to tomorrow's Game 5 between the Bucks and the Hornets. Coming up on Inside the NBA, presented by Hyundai. Here come the chants. Beat LA. That's 40 points tonight for Dirk Nowitzki. The one high point for the Mavs. The Mavs weren't expected to even be in the second round. They were underdogs to the Utah Jazz after being down 0-2 to win that one in Salt Lake City.
Well, you like what they're doing there, Bob. They did a great job in drafting people, a lot of good young talent, so that they were able to make some trades and get the necessary pieces. But they need some more help. And then we also know that the development of Nowitzki, Howard, and Finley will be paramount. That they got to add some extra pieces of bigger guys who can score for them.
And the time runs out as Nelson and Popovich, former assistant Popovich for Don Nelson and very close friends, talk to each other at half court, and the San Antonio Spurs will go on to meet the Los Angeles Lakers in the Western Conference Finals. They will begin on Saturday, and not to be lost in all this are the 42 points scored by Dirk Nowitzki, almost half of the points scored by the Mavericks tonight. San Antonio shoots 52%, Dallas 37%, the Mavs 0 for 11 on trays. But right now, all they're thinking about in San Antonio is the return to glory. Juwan Howard and David Robinson with the discussion. And a move on and perhaps some mending of fences between the Twin Towers and Juwan Howard. Howard, of course, the man with a flagrant 2 foul, resulting in the injury of the separated shoulder to rising star Derek Anderson, and he'll be sorely missed in that LA series. And now let's go to Mark Morgan with the Twin Towers.
All right, Bob, thanks very much. I feel like I'm about to be posted up down here. David, first of all, what can you take away the positives from this series to apply to the rest of the playoffs?
Well, I mean, they showed a lot of courage. They played real hard. And, you know, the thing is we executed and we stayed very consistent. We responded well to their challenges. Even down there when we lost the game, I thought we did a good job of really fighting through a lot of things that were against us. And I felt good about our effort this series.
Next up, the Lakers. You split 2-2 with them in the regular season. Shaquille looks unstoppable right now, personally and team-wise. How do you defend him?
Well, I mean, he's playing great. You know, I mean, I think the thing is you stop their team. You know, I think we've done a good job defensively against their team, and we just got to continue with a good effort. I think all year we've established something pretty good. I think we'll go in with good chemistry. We'll play well.
Tim, another player you have to stop is Kobe Bryant. He averaged 38 points per game. No Derek Anderson. Now Antonio Daniels and the rest of you have to help. How does your team slow down Kobe?
Same way we have all year, just trying to play team defense on him, getting to his shot. We're getting up and down the floor and getting up in him as much as possible. Antonio's done a great job getting up in guys and making them drivers and making them make tough shots. So we keep doing that, we'll be all right.
You seem personally unstoppable so far in the postseason. Is this the best you've played in your career?
I don't really know, but I feel really good right now. I feel really healthy, and everything's going my way right now.
David, is that the best player in this league?
In my book, he's the best.
All right, guys, thanks. Good luck in the next round. Bob, back to you.
Thanks, Mark. It was 32-20 for Tim Duncan tonight, 16-14 for David Robinson. Now, Hubie, the LA Lakers are on a 15-game win streak. The Spurs 5-0 at home in the playoffs. They've only lost one playoff game. So as you look ahead to that series, what are your comments about what you think about the Lakers and the San Antonio
We know that
Spurs?
Shaq is a monster right now, and Kobe's at the top of his game. But the key thing right now is when you play the Lakers, can you keep them off the offensive board? Because if you look night in and night out, they get 17 to 18 second shot attempts, and that's a disaster for you. Can you keep them off the glass? Now, we know that those other two guys are going to score their points. Key thing right now is you must keep Fisher from exploding in your face and putting up big numbers. But then that's easier said than done because the team is on the roll playing with great confidence.
So as we go off tonight, Dirk Nowitzki had a great game for Dallas. Dallas had a very positive experience this year and make it to Game 5 of the second round before losing to the Spurs 105-87. Once again, that's the final score. For Hubie Brown and Mark Morgan, this is Bob Neal saying good night from San Antonio, Texas. And after this, we'll